modern homes of tomorrow, design is almost as important as function. From the tangly table to the nearly unsittable chair.
This is my very first Cruella de Vil doll, and I am so lucky to have her.
Greetings, Earth Lady. May I interest you in some guacamole? This is the Morning Stream.
Good morning and welcome to TMS, everyone. It's Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. I'm Scott Johnson, and that's Brian Ibbett.
Hi, Scott Johnson, and hi, listener. You, right there, just you, listener.
Each and every one of you. You're special in your own way.
Secret of podcasting right here. Pretend you're just talking to one listener. Yeah. Hey, listener. Hey.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah.
Are you warm? Yeah. Are you warm? Do you need a blanket?
Yeah. You need some soup. A little bit of soup.
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Are you? We know how to talk to our people.
That's right.
Welcome back, everyone. It's good to have you here. We're excited to bring you a Tuesday episode of the show. I slept like garbage, so if I seem a little slow today, like a little Logi, not Logi. Loki?
Not Loki.
Logi? Is the word Logi?
Yeah. Logi is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, but didn't we hork up Logis in the 80s too?
You're up all night to get Logi.
Oh, those were Loogies. No, I mean, really, I mixed it up.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
I thought that was a dad joke.
No, I was like, wait a minute. Did we used to hork up Logies? No, we
horked up Loogies.
Yeah, it was Loogies. Put an extra O in
I liked it also. We kind of made up the word loogie, and we made up the word hork to define the process of, doing that.
Yep. We're the greatest generation. No one ever says it, but we are.
Exactly. We really are.
Don't forget it.
We're smart.
Yeah, when we die, what's this world going to do? What a cultural mess it's going to be when we leave.
That's right, exactly.
Anyway, I'm dying to know how your nose waxing went. Can we get an update? How'd that go?
All right, so I walk into the place, answer a couple questions, and, just basic stuff. Any allergies or are you taking any medications? I think they're kind of wanting to make sure that if there's blood, I'm not mainlining Bayer aspirin to make sure that clots up.
Oh, right.
Not thin. But I'm walked into into one of the little rooms, little doctor's office rooms. It's a nice little spa, European waxing spa center or something like that here in Arvada. Just opened up.
What makes it European? What do they do that's
I don't know, because last I checked, Brazil was in South America, so Brazilian, not quite European. I think it's just a European style.
Okay.
Spa.
All right. Still curious what that would actually mean. Like, do they have?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. I'm sure somebody out there knows what's so special about European waxing.
Yeah. Anyway. I mean, they may have invented a lot of this stuff, so maybe it's just
maybe that's it. Maybe they're the waxing pros.
Yeah.
So I'm ushered into the back by Sophia, a lovely young woman who I'm guessing is a year out of beautician school, or out of the place where they're trained to do this sort of thing.
Sure. Very, very European sounding name as well, Sophia.
Sophia,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's from here. We had plenty of time to talk, so she's actually a Colorado native. Nothing European about that.
That's a shame. Yeah.
The room has a bed, like a doctor's office bed, with the roll of butcher paper that they can just tear off and pull up a new butcher paper. And I thought, all right, well, do you just need me to sit here? She's like, oh, I'm actually going to have you lie down and put your head on the pillow area in the back. I'm like, all right, cool.
A full-service European spa, it turns out, is what
full-service European spa.
Yeah. Wow.
So she's heating things up. Have you ever had this done before? I'm like, no. And I said, I hear it doesn't hurt as much as you'd expect it would, because it's not like plucking a single nose hair. It's, for whatever reason, it doesn't hurt when you do them all. She's like, yeah, it's true. It's more like like the shock, but there's no residual pain.
That's true. I've done this before, not in a good clinical place like that. Like, I had a friend do it. And
oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Or I shouldn't say friend. Kim's sister, Sarah, she's also a friend, I suppose. She did it. And the first nostril didn't go well, just about pulled my brain out. Because she didn't get it all. She didn't yank hard enough, or I don't know what the deal was. Hadn't dried enough, I don't know. But then the other nostril went fine. I've never done it since, though. But you're right. There's this moment of like, but
Yeah.
then you're done. It's fine after that.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. And I'll tell you some horror stories that she told me after in a second here.
All right.
So, she says, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Are you okay if we do both nostrils at once? Or, do you feel claustrophobic? And I think she obviously just meant putting wax in both, but pulling each one individually.
Sure.
Like pulling both simultaneously feel like it would just rip the nose right off of my face.
Yeah. Nobody wants a twofer. Don't ask for
Nobody wants a twofer.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, totally fine with that. So she puts the wax in the first nostril and lets it solidify in there. And she keeps coming over and kind of like pushing the sides of my nose just to make sure that the entire nostril is getting the wax. She's like, yeah, those, people trying to do this stuff at home. There's horror stories I've seen online about them pulling and they just pull the stick out. They pull too early and the stick comes out of the wax. And now they've got this big ball of wax in their nose and no way to quickly pull it out. It's just got to be like, like broken up and pulled out individually. And
I've seen TikTok videos where both nostrils end up with wax still in them and the guy just struggling to get them out of there. And they ended up, you basically have to kind of perform tweezer surgery on yourself for an hour. It's horrible.
An hour of constant nose hair pulling just to get all that wax out. It's
horrendous. That's not what you signed up for. So good. You're in a place that knows what they're doing. That's important. That's
what they're doing, right? So first one solidifies and she comes over and holds my nose steady and then just goes yank. And all right, there's no residual pain.
Yeah.
But to say that it's completely pain-free is kind of misleading. But it's not like, like if you pinch yourself or you get a burn or you poke yourself with a needle, you've got long residual pain.
Sure.
With this, it was instant and it's gone.
Yeah. Weird, right? It's weird that's even true. It's so weird. It's
really weird. It's like the only place I can ever think of experiencing that was with this. It's just like bam and that's it. And it's not a lot of pain. It's more like it's like the amount of pain from maybe a mild slap.
Yeah. But one that hits
not a hard slap, but like a
just like a little whack,
like
right?
That kind of slap.
But it's like when it's like one from a stranger in a busy mall and you didn't expect it. That's what makes it weird.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but then they run away and there's no residual. Like I still feel where I just slapped myself in the face, even though that was a mild slap.
Mild Coffee in the chat calls it the wasabi of pain. I think that's actually pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah, because it's like wasabi heat doesn't last a super long time. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I agree. That's good.
It also cleans out your sinuses.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Dual use.
So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? That wasn't so bad. It's actually, not bad at all. And she did the other nostril and then she went back and did each nostril a second time. Just because, sometimes you got the stumps or so you didn't get them all or whatever. So she went in there twice. I've been cultivating for a long time. Look, I use a nose hair trimmer. I've used one for 40 years or 35 years or however long I've been having to do this thing.
Yeah.
And I have to go in there and hit it weekly, sometimes even maybe a couple times a week, 3 times every 2 weeks or something. And I'm just tired of it. And for $15 to not have to worry about it for a month or so, worth it to me.
Is the stereotype true that if you're bald, hair grows wackadoo in other places? Like it grows more than it's supposed to or should or faster or whatever, like ear hair, nose hair, that kind of stuff?
I have no idea because I don't know what...
it seems like people say that, but I don't know if that's true.
The hair's got to go somewhere, and it can't come out the head, so it's got to It's got to come out somewhere.
I don't know if it works that way or not.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't feel like I'm certainly not a Baldwin in the chest hair department.
No.
My
who is
eyebrows or ear hair or anything like that aren't excessive. I don't know.
Those guys are more hair than man. Those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, the Baldwins are more hair than man.
They should be called the Hairwins. Anyway.
So all in all, good experience. Oh, and so I walk out of there and I'm getting my wallet out to pay for it. And she's like, well, this is your first time here and your first visit is free. And if you want to sign up for a a regular visit, you certainly can. We'll schedule for 4 weeks out, and you can just come in. And if you do that service, then you can buy 15 visits for the price of 9 or something like that. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll come back in when my nose is out of control. Yeah. I looked at like how much I'd save. It's like, that's not worth it enough to me to prepay for 15 visits.
No. That's how they try to get you.
I understand.
Yeah. It's not for me.
Listen, they have to do the same spiel. I'm sure for ladies getting the old Brazilian, getting the landing strip done, who are off on their way to Saint-Tropez to, naked sunbathe on the sand, they probably do need to come in a little bit more often. But for old Shanaz here, not a problem. Yeah. I did tip Sophie. I tipped her $5.
Oh, that's a pretty good tip.
And it's funny. So she said, well, your first visit's free. I'm like, well, I'd like to leave Sophie a tip. And she says, oh, okay, just put it here. And she points to like a little wooden desk, a desk thing, like you'd get at Office Max, like a little wooden thing. It's got pens sticking out the top of it. I'm like, oh, okay, it's weird. So I can't just hand you the money, you hand it to her. I'm guessing you have to sanitize it or something. That's weird. All right, that's fine. So I set the $5 bill on the thing. And then, I answer the questions about the, buying the multi-pass, the Lilu Dallas nose hair multi-pass.
Yeah.
And she's, okay, I guess that's it. Well, did you want to tip Sophie? And I said, oh, I did. I put the $5 right here. She's like, oh, and she reaches around and grabs it and then grabs the paper envelopes that apparently she was pointing to that are sitting on this desk.
Oh, well, why would you know that? Why would you know that?
Because they weren't even facing me. They looked like it looked like white Post-its. The front of the envelope was facing me instead of the telltale flap side of the envelope.
Yeah, you'd never know. Who's supposed to know that? Nobody knows.
Who's supposed to know that? So,
what's your take on the whole no, we need nose hair removal is bad because it's good for filtration and like during COVID time, it's a better way to filtrate air and whatever. It's your natural filtration system.
I agree with that. I think that that you do need nose hairs, and when they do the waxing, they're really only going about maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch up in there.
Oh.
And I still listen. Believe me, the forest is still strong. The Muir Woods are still growing up north. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just the parking lot's been cleared.
Well, it sounds all right to me. Look at Brian. He's a clinic or what do you call it? You're not a regular in the sense that you prepaid for anything, but look at you getting yourself a little self-care, a little nasal
self-care, a little man. What do they call that?
Manscaping.
Grooming. Manscaping. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, or grooming.
Little manscaping.
Sure. Yeah. Now Tina doesn't have to go, what's in your nose?
Brian, you might want to go use the Norelco tomorrow. We're going to go see my parents. Do you mind maybe giving the nose a trim? She's really never said that.
No, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite news scenario where she talks that way. That's amazing.
But I'll be honest. Listen, full disclosure here. I'll be vulnerable here for the fine folks listening. The fine folk, that one person listening that I'm talking to.
Yeah. The individual. Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm out and about and I blow my nose and I wipe and stuff and I don't have a mirror to look into or anything like that, maybe there's a little tiny something on the end of a friggin' nose hair that's sticking out of the second floor window, looking like it's gonna jump.
Yeah.
And that's the vanity reason that I got this thing done. Did I ever tell you about the I think I did. I think I told you about when I went to First Watch for breakfast.
Oh yeah.
This place out here.
You talked about
I walk out of there and and I had no idea that these two beautiful young women at the front counter were laughing and smiling at me because I had a big bug hanging out of my nose instead of.
You had a bug hanging. Nobody wants a bug hanging. Nobody.
Bug hanging. So.
I mean, we're human beings. Exactly. We have bugs hanging, but we don't like it. We don't like to do it.
Exactly. Hey, something else that's gotten removed, getting removed today.
Oh, Brian,
can I tell you how excited I am about this, Scott?
You're getting the snip snip, or you already had the snip snip? What are you getting?
I already had the snip snip years ago, 24 years ago.
Yeah.
The tree that has been the bane of our existence.
Oh,
the
it's
tree
out?
that was the source. Well, it's coming out today.
Oh, okay.
The tree that was the source of too much hassle with the Russian neighbors. The tree that hangs over our side and dumps all its crappy ass cottonwood leaves all over our yard and none on the neighbors.
Yeah.
And looks dangerous every time it's loaded with snow dangling precariously over our roof. It's coming out today. They had 2 trees along our fence. They removed the back one yesterday, and then the main one, the big problem, the one that reaches underground with its roots and strangles our sprinkler system and requires hundreds of dollars and hours worth of work, is finally coming out.
Do you do you think the Russians know? Do you think they're aware that this finally
No,
happened?
I don't think they do, because these people bought the house. The people before the people that are in there currently were renting the house, and they couldn't do anything about the tree. But now the Russians are not involved. They maybe they'll drive by someday, nostalgia, and come see and like, oh, tree is gone.
Where
Oh,
is
that's-
tree? We not see tree. Where is it? Where is this
When
tree?
Russia tree remove you. But
That's great. That's great.
yeah,
Well done.
So the too much hassle tree finally coming down.
That's a long time to wait for a tree to
It is.
go.
It is.
You know, I
Things
think you
are
guys have been pretty patient. Well done.
It's a friggin' monster.
A couple of quick emails that I
Yeah.
wanted to get through this morning before we get to our news. And one of them is from T-Glass, which is a great rapper name.
T-Glass. Yeah.
Yeah, T-Glass. Just tell us what's going on, T-Glass. Yo, T-Glass here. I can't do T-Glass. Anyway.
Not to be confused with iced tea glass.
Yeah, exactly. He says old outrage is new again, and I agree with him.
Okay.
He says, Dear Snowpiercer and Bullet Train. I don't know the references there other than the S and the B, but Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I mean, Snowpiercer's they're just two trains.
Okay. I love Snowpiercer, is that movie.
I do too.
Yeah, the director of
TV
Parasite.
show's okay.
Yeah, the director of Parasite made it, so I probably should
That's
say
right.
that. Yeah.
You probably should.
Anyway, it says, funny how people are making a big deal of the Seinfeld being cropped. We talked about it yesterday. Seinfeld first appeared on streaming platforms with Hulu, and it was the cropped widescreen version then. Here is a 6-year-old Reddit thread about it. Wow. Internet's got to outrage, I guess. Signed, T-Glass. Yeah, so the whole thing with the Seinfeld thing is not even a new thing. And I thought it was 4:3 over there, but it wasn't. It was 16:9, and he's
At
right.
Hulu, so they already did the conversion at Hulu.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, I didn't remember it either, and yeah, sure enough, there's some angry. Why is there an NSFW better example from TBS? Why is this?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, it's because
You on
it's
Reddit?
when what's her face is coming out of the pool, and I think she's
Nude.
topless.
She's nude.
She's nude. Well, she's topless.
Well,
There was a topless woman on Seinfeld. Look at that.
what? Really? Did that really happen?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
remember that. Oh, I do too. The one from the pool, or the one where
Yeah.
the
The shrinkage
the
episode.
shrinkage episode. Yeah, it's just her back though, right?
Well, in the 4:3 version, it's just her back. In the 16:9 version,
Yeah.
you get
Side boob.
hard to see nipple, but lots of side boob.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You look at. You want me? Here's a link.
Yeah. Send us. Oh, you put it in the chat here. I see it.
I put it in the chat, but I'll put it in here as well.
Let's take a look here. I'm not putting it on screen, chat. Don't get excited.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, geez. So you go 16:9, you get the full breastage.
You do, yeah. You can't really see, it's a motion blur, but
She's probably wearing pasty cap things or
pasties,
whatever.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's something, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like the look on Michael Richards' face. I think he's looking a little skeevy there. Something going on.
He looks nonplussed, like non-affected by the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
Whereas
interesting.
Elaine and Jerry are both like,
Now,
they've practiced their reaction shots.
12-year-old me would be thrilled about this discovery. This
Yeah,
would be
right, exactly.
I'd be losing my mind, going, where can we find a print of this? Holy crap! Pause it! Hey, pause it, everybody! Look at what I can see.
Right, exactly.
But now, it's not that shocking.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh,
thank you
well.
for that, T Glass. You're great. Your new album's awesome. Good job. Super controversial, but I really like your hip hop stylings. It's great, T Glass. Keep those emails coming. We appreciate it.
For sure.
Andy wrote in and says, Okay, I'm going to do it in Andy's voice. He's in
Okay.
Canada, so first of all, this is for him.
Canada!
All right, that's for him. And then I'm going to pull this way away from me over here.
Yeah, good
And
call.
I'm going to say it in the way he's written it. Here we go. Lake Louise is in Alberta, not British Columbia. I'm yelling. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Love the show, though. I'm angry. I'm Canadian. Sorry again for all the yelling. There.
Okay, good.
We cleared it up, though. If anyone
did.
was confused, I guess whatever that is, or whatever that lake is, it's in Alberta. So
Yeah, it's just west of Calgary.
yeah.
I think it was because it was in the British Columbia News is the problem.
Yeah.
That was what was misleading.
Yeah.
Look, it is right on the friggin' border. I'm
Yeah, it's
looking
right
at
there,
it right
dude.
now.
Yeah.
It is the border goes right next to it. So
It's
all
almost like it's part of the border. Part of the lake is part of the border. Kinda. Ish.
Kind of. Yeah.
I mean, it feels like the border might be different.
Hard
if
to
the
tell
lake
on
wasn't there.
Google Maps.
Yeah. Google Maps.
No, the border goes over the mountain, Mount Aberdeen. Mount Aberdeen.
Excellent. So there you go. Angry Canadian. Well done, Andy. We appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah, sorry, Andy. Sorry,
Yeah,
Andy.
We're really sorry about
for
everything.
getting that
Andy.
wrong, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
We feel really bad, truly.
sorry, not sorry.
Sunglow wrote. Sunglow wrote in talking about the whole Smokies thing, like when people called police Smokey,
Yeah,
like Smokey
yeah.
and the Bandit and all that. He says, "Dear Smokey and the Bandit, a Smokey wears a Smokey Bear hat. Most CB nicknames for police and their vehicles are visual puns. Love the show though, Sunglow.
Sure. I mean, like the gumball machine is the thing on top, the siren lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought Smokey Bear wears a ranger hat.
Isn't it a flat hat with like two tassels?
Yeah,
What
it's
do I-
it's like a squished Pharrell Williams hat.
Yeah.
It's a squished Arby's hat.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's like a Mountie hat is what it is.
Like a Mountie hat. Yeah.
Speaking of the Canadians,
Canada!
here, look right here. This is a Smokey hat chat room. Do you guys see that? And there's some that even have Smokey the Bear written on it. It's got a little neck deal. Okay. So cops in certain places, out in rural places, wear these kind of hats, I guess. Or they did.
Right.
I don't know if they would now, though, because you're right. They are Pharrell Williams hats. Because I'm happy.
Just a smaller version of it.
Happy, or whatever song. What's that song? Happy, right?
Happy, uh-huh.
Happy. Is it just called Happy?
Happy.
What
It's
happened
just
to
called
Pharrell?
Happy.
He
Wasn't
was
there
a-
a happy song by Pharrell something?
he was having a moment. What happened to his? Where is he now? What's going on with him, Pharrell?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with him. Somebody in the chat room quoted Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. TVZ Gone mentioned Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Yeah.
I learned because that was a New York Times crossword clue last week
Yeah.
that there's controversy about Fuzzy Wuzzy. It's a very racist thing. Fuzzy
Is it?
Wuzzy was a bear. I had no idea.
I still don't know. So give
It
me the
was
skinny.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a racist term for the natives of East Africa.
A Fuzzy Wuzzy, like the full term.
Yes, exactly, and it came from British troops, British military.
Oh, it sounds British now that you say that.
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
I've seen a Fuzzy Wuzzy coming to the camp
It's
or
like-
whatever.
Really? How
Yeah.
is this? I never knew this was until last week. I'd never heard anything bad about Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Well, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Yeah.
Fuzzy Wuzzy didn't care.
Eh,
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Okay, so Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Translates to the Eastern African people were giving the British Army trouble. Is was a bear as opposed to, oh man, that yard work was a bear.
Okay. That Russian tree removal was a bear, like that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Formula explaining why the Fuzzy Wuzzies did so well was a clean square root relationship, not a complex hairy one. The strength of the force is scaled only linearly with the firepower of the British troops and with the square of the numerically superior Fuzzy Wuzzy troops.
There's a title in Complex Hairy One. I I don't know where or how it is worded, but someone do complex Hairwin. There's a title in there.
Complex Hairwin.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I didn't.
Yeah.
No idea.
I had no idea either. So everybody quit singing the Fuzzy Wuzzy song to your kids because apparently now that's racist.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Okay. Now
Fuzzy
it's starting
Wuzzy
to...
wasn't fuzzy, was he?
Wuzzy. That's a shitty thing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
I hate learning that things like that that we all just took as like an innocent little thing have racist roots. Long time no see has been the hardest one for me to quit using, because I'll see somebody and I'll want to say, "Oh man, long time no see."
Yeah.
Or I'll text or something like that, and yeah, no, you can't use that.
How about that itsy bitsy spider business? Is that racist?
So far so good. I think we're good on the itsy.
Okay. How about so far so good?
Oh.
How about that phrase?
I don't know. Now that I say that, I wonder if that's
it's a reference to Jamie Farr, and he's got some Arabic heritage. I have no idea.
Burgess Diesel says, "You got this in the New York Times crossword." Yeah, I am. Like the clue was something like nursery rhyme or rhyming animal from a children's rhyme or something like that.
Yeah.
And the answer was Fuzzy Wuzzy. But in the comments of the New York Times, because sometimes when I'm struggling with a clue, I'll go look at the comments, and sometimes people will inadvertently give a hint. Mm-hmm. And they said, "I can't believe you'd include that racist clue in your crossword. I'm unsubscribed, sir."
Wow, that's a rage quit. A highfalutin rage quit is what that is.
Yes.
Well, I feel like I learned something that I didn't want to learn, but I did.
I know.
I learned it.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes you got to learn things you don't want to learn. All right?
It's true. Yep.
That's just the damn truth. Now the news. It's time for the news. It's brought to you by
A Change in Plans. Hey, look, everybody. Boop got pushed to today at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Make sure, if you missed it yesterday, don't worry, you still have a chance to hear it. Today, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Derp!
Yeah, maybe yesterday you were like, "Oh, I forgot," and then now I'm telling you still have a chance, is what I'm saying. Today at 3:30, okay? Me, Dunaway, making it. It's happening. Watch for it. Catch it. This fall on NBC. All right, moving on. We got a story here about a missing drunk man.
Okay.
Spent hours helping a search party look for himself. I want to thank William for this story. He sent this in via email. Thank you, William. themorningstream@gmail.com. Anyway, the missing man in Turkey. This is in Turkey. Apparently, people in Turkey know how to party because, listen where this went.
All right.
Missing man in Turkey accidentally joined his own search party and looked for himself for hours before he realized he was the target of the rescue. According to local media reports, Beyhan Mutlu.
He's apparently a really useful guy. If it takes him hours after helping search for somebody to finally ask the question, by the way, who are we searching for?
Yeah. Who are we
Yeah.
It's almost like a movie, you know?
It totally
like
is.
some drunk guy, like, I don't know who would do it. I picture different actors, but I see him just going, "Oh, this is great. We're going to find him, aren't we? Who are we looking for again? So-and-so. Oh, that's me." Like, I can just see this movie play out.
I'm picturing Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
Who are we looking for again?
That's not bad. I've never heard you do a Dudley Moore. That's not
My
bad.
first ever Dudley Moore, everybody.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, yeah, you can see Bill Murray doing it, sure.
This kind of movie would not play well today.
BioCow's right. Bill Murray'd fit. That'd be a good one.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It's like Waldo looking for himself. That'd be funny. Well, anyway, according to these reports, 50-year-old man from the rural region of Turkey was out drinking with friends when he wandered off into a nearby forest and didn't return. Worried about him, his friends his friends alerted authorities, who set up a search party and rescue mission to find him. According to the Turkish channel NTV, not M. NTV. We don't do music at all. Music television. When news of the missing man got out, efforts to find him intensified in neighboring neighborhoods or in nearby neighborhoods. Let's see. With a large group of volunteers joining the mission, a search party was calling for Mutu's name for hours. Then suddenly a man within the group spoke up and reportedly said, "Who are you looking for? I am here." he says. It is unclear how he found himself in his own search party or how his friends didn't realize he was right under their nose the whole time. Police were able to safely escort him to his home. I think everybody was drunk is what I think that means. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's more of a problem here than just the guy who was quote unquote missing.
Yep.
It's the friends who are like, go look over behind that tree, Bill. Bill.
Yeah.
Bill.
Rainbow Bright Moltu. Where are you?
Or Mutlu.
Rainbow Bright in the chat makes a good reference to Film Sack this last weekend. This makes me think of of Hatchet, the movie Hatchet we just watched,
Yes.
with those friends who didn't go on the swamp tour. That's right, they still partied, man.
Yeah. They did. It's like, well, I guess our friends aren't coming back. Anyway, let's go look at more boobs.
Did we call them the chicks in the bucket or no? I don't remember.
I think Randy corrected you, calling them the real chicks in the bucket. You had somebody else as the chick in the bucket.
Oh, I did the guy drinking his own pee, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Jack Cracker.
But I guess he makes a whole thing in the sequel, so.
Yeah, apparently he does.
Yeah.
Jack
So I don't
Cracker
think he-
apparently becomes very important, as does Reverend Zombie.
Yeah. Reverend Zombie. Oh, man. That reminds me, I gotta watch Midnight
I do want to
Mass.
watch the first 10 minutes of Hatchet 2 just to see, since it picks up right where the other one left
I
off.
kind of want to watch the first couple of minutes of that, the last few minutes of it, and then the first few minutes of 3.
You just want to just watch the frosting, really.
Yeah.
Like, all right, how's the movie begin? All right, how does it
Yeah.
end? Okay,
Yeah,
how's the next movie begin?
Because the whole thing with that series is that they just keep stacking on top of each other, and I want to see how they do it. But I don't know if I can sit through, 2 more Hatchet movies. I don't think I could do it.
I know.
That's a
It is
lot.
really, it's the most egregious use of, hey, I've got 11 ideas for really funny, unusual ways to kill people.
Yeah.
How can we string them all together into a movie?
Yeah, that's basically it. Well, all right. Let's see what else we got here. We got a story in Sweden. This is interesting.
Sweden.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm thinking of I don't know why this reminds me of it. Everything in Sweden reminds me of Wes Anderson. But have you seen the latest final trailer for that French Dispatch
No.
business? Did
No.
every actor in Hollywood sign up for that? Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, it seemed like that was in the trailer I saw a few months ago, when it's just like a never-ending list of Kate Blanchett, Tilda Swinton, Timothy Chalamet, Johnny
Everyone's in it.
Depp,
Yeah.
Edward Norton,
Everyone's
Melissa
in
Joan
it.
Hart,
All people.
Amy Mann,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos.
All people are in it.
All
Jeff
people are in
Bezos. There's a really great, it's fake, but there's a really great image going around of Shatner sitting with his fellow astronauts for his ship.
Yes.
And he's in the
I
gold
saw this.
thing, and the rest are in red shirts. And
Yeah.
somebody, I
The
put
crew
that
is
up.
very concerned about the new mission uniforms for.
Yeah. My favorite thing is that some people don't understand that that's the entire joke of the image. And so they replied to
Right.
me going, oh, I think red shirts are a bad idea. They shouldn't wear those. I'm like,
Really?
yeah,
That's
the
great.
entire,
Yeah,
that's the entire
you're
joke.
You're not getting it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing there, buddy.
Oh, that movie comes out the same day as Dune, says Free Rangers. Is that one
is it?
going to be theater only?
I bet it is, because it's Universal, right? I think. Or maybe Sony.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the only ones that'll be day and date, I guess, are just Warner Brothers at this point.
Yeah.
And
Yep. In select theaters, October 22nd.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to the theater to watch that. I'm excited about that.
I am too. I love Wes Anderson, man.
Cavalcade of Stores.
Everyone's in it, including Broken Nose Jim Jam. What's his name?
Owen Wilson?
No, the other Broken Nose. He's in it too, but
Adrian Brody?
Adrian Brody. I saw Adrian Brody's face in there.
Does he have a broken nose or just a ginormous one?
I think it's busted, isn't it? All sideways and busted.
I mean, you got to bump that thing into everything. You try and go through a doorway and that hits the side. And
Let's see. What if there's a nose about it? Oh,
Saoirse Ronan is in this too. Elizabeth Moss, Jeffrey Wright.
everyone.
That's funny. When Jeffrey Wright was in No Time to Die, because Felix Leiter, of course, is in there, I said, hey, it's the Watcher.
I like that he's the Watcher and he's going to be Commissioner Gordon in the Batman movie. I love that. That guy's great.
Yeah.
All right. What happened to Adrian Brody's nose? Oh, can you tell me if Jeffrey Wright's in the new James Bond thing? Or did his character die in a previous one? I don't remember.
I just told you he's in there. Yes.
Oh, you just
'Cause
said
when
he was in
came
there?
on, I said when he came on screen, I'm thinking, ooh, that's the Watcher.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
I said, oh, look, there's a red air on air light.
I'm putting it up. Hold on. There you go, chat. Right on air light. You guys see it? I was too busy looking up Brody's nose. All right, found it. What happened to Adrian Brody's nose? In 1992, Adrian Brody was seriously hurt in a motorcycle accident in which he flew over a car and crashed headfirst into a sidewalk. He spent months recuperating. He has a broken nose 3 times. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And he has broken his nose 3 times doing stunts. The most recent was during filming of a movie called Summer of Sam. So it is.
All right, so he has broken. Maybe it was really small to begin with, and it just kept growing. Like every time he broke it, it like healed funny and had new cartilage and stuff.
Yeah, Adrian Brody.
Let's play a game. Are they in French Dispatch or not?
Oh, that's a great game.
All right. Okay.
Go.
Let's start with let's start with something easy. Jason Schwartzman.
Yes.
Yes, he is in
Okay.
French Dispatch.
All right.
Colin Firth.
Yes.
He is not.
Oh shit.
In, French Dispatch.
I played my own ding without checking with the judges.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. No.
Correct. She is not in French Dispatch.
All right, good. Who else?
Henry Winkler.
Oh my gosh. That seems so weird that it might be true. I'm going to say yes because I want it to be.
That is correct. He is in there.
Oh,
yes.
what? Awesome.
Nick Jonas.
No.
That is correct. No Nick Jonas.
Okay, good. I mean, whoops. I gotta play the ding. Not the buzz.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Draw me like your French girls. I'm going to say yes.
Yes, she is in.
Okay.
She's in the movie.
All right.
Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens?
Fisher Stevens from Short Circuit.
I'm going to say, again, I'm a little hopeful here. I'll say yes.
Yes, he is.
What?
Amelia Clark.
No.
That is correct. You're good at this game.
I'm pretty
Very
good at
good.
this game. What else you got? Keep going.
Let's see here. Let's give you Willem Dafoe.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Because he's been in Wes Anderson
Because he's been in Wes Anderson movies before.
He was great in that Steve, whatever it was called, the aquatic life thing. I'm going to say yes.
He is, yes.
Oh, wow. All right.
All right. Margot Robbie.
No.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. No Margot Robbie.
I'm not looking at the cast here.
I know. I'm
really
impressed.
don't
So
know.
far, I've been really impressed.
Yeah.
Liev Schreiber.
I'll say yes on that.
Yes.
Okay. Woo. Getting lucky here. Okay.
James McAvoy.
No.
Yeah. No James McAvoy. All right.
Really?
I think we're good. Yes. You're
I don't know why. Some of those names just sounded...
I'm even not trying to go like a yes and then a no. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit and do some yeses and some nos and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was
Yeah.
a fun impromptu game. Back to Sweden. We never got to the story. The whole thing
We actually
was
never
Sweden.
got to Sweden. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the Sweden story. They have a hotel, an entire hotel. Oh, this is why it reminded me of this, because of the Wes Anderson hotel movie.
Right. The Budapest, Grand Budapest. Yeah.
And now I got all off the thing. All right, here it is. Sweden has a hotel for sourdough starters. Yeah, that's right, pandemic lovers. Line up. Getting a new sourdough starter is a ton of work. Everyone knows how that works. Well, now Sweden's sourdough hotels will care for travelers' bread dough while they go traveling. This is real, by the way. It's almost like
Hilarious.
childcare or something.
It is.
Sourdough.
Babysit your sourdough. I hear you can check out any time you like, but you can never loaf.
You can never loaf. Ever loaf. Ever.
There's a joke in there somewhere. I don't know where.
Well,
Sorry,
it's hard. 'cause-
tangled up in my cord.
But what else rhymes with leave? Sleeve.
Leave Levin.
Levin.
You can never need.
Need.
You can check out any time you like, but you can never
You
need.
can never need. That's good. Oh, there's a place around here called Kneaders, and I love their sandwiches. But
Yeah,
there's too
we
much
got
carbs.
those here. That one here too.
I want to eat them.
Good breakfast stuff.
Yeah, and their bread's amazing, but I'm trying to cut back on bread, so I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't eat there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So they got this hotel. And if you're not a professional baker, it doesn't matter. They'll take whatever you got. Here's a quote. The thing with sourdough is that you can't leave it alone or leave it alone if you decide to travel, says Charlotta Sour, the owner of Stockholm bakery RC Chocolat. She told this to Camilla Catalina Fernandez for Vice Munchies. Vice Munchies. She opened a 24/7 sourdough hotel at one of her storefronts in Stockholm, in the Arlanda airport. Arlanda. There you go.
Arlanda, in Stockholm. Okay.
So basically, you just have a place you can leave it, and then when you come flying back, you go check the dough back out, and they'll have taken care of it.
They'll have fed it daily, and which is funny. If you put it in the fridge, it can go like a week before you have to feed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess if you want it tangier, if you want your bread tangier, you want to have it out on the counter and feed it daily.
Do you still? I mean, has anybody around you like come over with bread anymore? Like we used to have people.
No,
like,
crazy. I mean, for a while I was doing the bread, doing the sourdough. Although we were having okay luck with the bread. We were having way better luck with the remains, or whatever you call that, when you transfer part of it, the starter, to a new glass, add water and flour, and your remainder. We were making some great biscuits and cinnamon rolls and things like that. We were doing great with those. Not so great with the bread. Crazy Neighbor was doing bread for a while, and he was mastering it. Like, he was putting chunks of fruit in there, or fennel seeds, making rye, sourdough with rye in it. And I don't think he's doing it anymore. I think he finally just gave up. Too much bread.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of carbs, and a lot of, it's probably not healthy to eat so much bread.
Yeah. Sourdough's better than, wheat or flour based business, but it's still you don't want to, you just can't overdo it.
Can't overdo it.
Too much bread, man.
So currently nobody doing bread in our house.
All right.
Or in our neighborhood.
Taylor was doing bread like crazy, and now she doesn't do it anymore. And it bums me out because hers was amazing. It was so good. But then also I'm like, well, it's good. I'm not eating bread. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. There's the good and bad sides to it.
That's right. Like all things in life, including this show where we take a break and play a song. That's a good thing in life. And then when that's over, we'll come back and have Jury here, which is another good thing in life. Actually, it's all good things in life here on the show. So,
all
Brian,
good things in life. What do you think Jury's going to say when he comes in and sees that Seinfeld image that we have in the chat?
He's going to think that we're porny.
What were you guys looking at in the chat?
Yeah, he's going to wonder. He's going to ask. It makes
Hello, friends.
It makes me slightly wanting to delete it, but I'm leaving it up. We're leaving it up.
No, we got to leave it up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're leaving it up. We'll see what his
Nicole was
reaction is.
coming in, we probably would take that out of there. But.
Yeah, but she is not, and so we are not. All right, Brian,
all
tell
right,
us
we're
about
going to
the
London.
Song.
Scott.
Oh, we are
We're going
London.
to London for a band called The Shining Tongues.
London Town. Whee! I like London.
What's that?
I said I like London Town.
Okay. They have a debut album coming out called Milk of God.
Gross.
Well, whatever. This album comes out, do we have a date on this? October 15th. So the end of this week, you'll be able to get this whole thing, courtesy of Actual Size Music. This is the first single from the album. It's called Is It Fear? Here are the Shining Tongues.
Who'd believe it? Saved from spider creatures by giant snails.
Use your old tailgate to play cornhole.
Listen very carefully, for I shall only say this once.
This is the morning stream.
We're back, everybody. That was very nice. Tell me about that song one more time.
Yeah, that song is The Shining Tongues, coming out from their brand new album, Milk of God, which comes out this week. And that's the song called Is It Fear?
Nice. All right. Should we let Justin in?
Yes.
I think we should.
Let him in! Let him in!
I think it's an okay idea. And I got to play this.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
It's Justin Robert Young joining us from. Ooh, look at his cool background, Justin. Look at this. Whoa, fancy.
Are you
pants.
outside in front of the city of Austin?
Yeah.
No, I finally just took down the curtain so you guys could see the view from the.
I see.
What a beautiful window.
Long time coming. Yeah.
It's like you're on one of those moon towers or something.
That's where I live. I live on.
You live on a moon tower?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. They think maybe impossible. Only moons can live on these towers. Not so. Humans.
Not true. Well, all
In
right
your
then.
face, celestial beings.
Yeah. Take that. Justin Robert Young joins us as he does every Tuesday to talk about stuff, and it turns out kind of a bland week in politics, so we're not really going to go there. But instead, I don't know why this feels close to home, because I guess now, technically, if Utah's going to have an NFL team, we kind of have to glom on to whoever's around us. And sometimes it was we were big into San Francisco for a while because of team
Steve Young.
Yeah, Steve Young, right? And we were real big into Denver every time Denver did anything cool back in the day. But these days, it's all about the Raiders, because now they're only 5 hours away and they're in Vegas. They basically feel like a team that we can, sort of have and back and whatever. Been some controversy, Justin, surrounding that. Yeah. And apparently you know what's going on with it more than I do. But this is all around John Gruden, current, or I guess now former head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. As of last night, he's resigned. But what's the hullabaloo about? What's going on with this?
So, effectively, there's a couple layers to it. Number one, there is an ongoing investigation into another team, the Washington then Redskins, now football team. Not because of the controversy over their name, but controversies over how much they had a pervasive culture of sexual harassment. So, like, the general primer on that is you had cheerleaders that were not being paid a lot of money, that were flown down to shoot calendars, and then told that it was mandatory that they had to go basically be escorts in the sense that they needed to hang out with sponsors. I don't know if sex was encouraged, but that was some of the reporting coming out of there. Because of that, the Washington football team turned over a ton of emails to see what was happening to the league.
Okay.
The league, at some point a few months ago, kind of put a lot of this sort of under the rug, although not far enough, as now it initially over the weekend became an issue with John Gruden, with him making a divisive racial statement about the head of the NFL Players Association, DeMaurice Smith, saying that he had lips like Michelin tires. That drew a fairly lame excuse from Gruden, saying that he uses the term rubber lips as somebody that lies a lot, not the racial overtones to the idea that saying that a black professional has the lips like Michelin tires, which I think, fell on deaf ears. And then the mother load came out, and that was last night. The New York Times reporting that not only was he making divisive statements about the gay Michael Sam, the gay player who was drafted by the then St. Louis Rams, also critical of female referees, using very inflammatory language for which he could not say anything, pretend was anything other than that. And with that, John Gruden, who had signed one of the most lucrative coaching contracts we have ever seen in the NFL. This was, I believe, a 9 or 10 year deal to get him out of the Monday Night Football booth, which is where he was, to become another head coach, a process that seemed like it was actually headed in the right direction at the beginning of this season when the Raiders were one of the best teams in the league. They, as this controversy breaks last week, they lose a game to a team that they probably should beat. And now their head coach, who was supposed to be there for the next 7 years, is gone because of these unearthed emails that were sent roughly 10 years ago.
So a quick personal connection to this. Dylan, my son-in-law, and his dad did a day trip to Vegas specifically to see that Bears game. So it was just this last weekend. And so they got up at like 5 a.m. or took a 5 a.m. flight, got to Vegas. There's nowhere to stay, so they can't do an overnighter because the hotels are gone when they play, when games are in town. So they had to fly down, do the game, and then fly back, which they did. But they were so excited to go because they thought, our first time since they've been in Vegas, we've got vaccination cards, which they require there, so we're good. We can
At the
go.
stadium.
So they're stoked about all of this, and they love the Raiders. They're just enormous fans. They have been their whole lives. And they thought, well, this is a no-brainer because it's the Bears, and they suck this year, and there's no way that we're going to lose this game. So we're going to go there. We're going to see this win. It's going to be a win all day long for everybody involved. And instead, the Bears beat them, and they were that was less than awesome for your first time seeing them since they've been in Vegas.
Right.
But his comment to me right before the resignation happened was, because they were over last night, was they got to get rid of Gruden. And I said, oh, for all this stuff? And he goes, well, that stuff's bad, but also he's a terrible coach, and we're going to keep losing if they don't get rid of him. So they have like fundamental coach problems with the guy. And as someone who doesn't get that into the weeds on the fandom, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be the argument that you would have made last season.
Yeah.
This season they were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
They were among they were playing. One of the best teams in the league is in their division, and they played them really tough. So there was an argument to be made that maybe they had turned the corner. Maybe this was something that they were going to do. They were also said to be in on some other big quarterbacks that might be moving around. So prior, I think the consensus from, obviously local fandom is local fandom and everybody has their own opinions, but the consensus of NFL thought was that prior to this, maybe John Gruden still does know how to coach in the NFL because, he has not had a stellar track record, although he is very well respected amongst the owners. But I think there are kind of two elements to this. Number one, the football side of it. And number two, the fact that these are private emails that were sent 10 years ago. And not to say that what was said in them is not horrendous, not to say that what was said in them isn't worthy of somebody getting fired. However, I do wonder about a future in which we have now lived in a digitally recorded world for a very long time, and when these things pop up, I just find them interesting, because I do find when people cluck and strut around about how they don't have any skeletons in their closet, I press X to doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any skeletons in my closet from the last 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No fresh
You're
skeletons.
safe. Yeah, you're safe. The way I look at it is, I had, back in the day, in the ELR days, so like back in like 2004, 05, 06, I used to do a pretty horrendous Asian accent on the show all the time.
Yeah.
Because people thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. It was based on my brother, who somehow in my head I'd kind of like got all my justifications in a row. Like, well, I'm related to this Korean brother of mine who has this accent, so me doing it is cool because I'm related, right? Like, that was my excuse. It wasn't quite as weird as Rubber Lips, but that's how I justified it. Recently, heard an old episode where I did that voice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a cringe fest, man. It's real rough to hear that stuff. And so in a certain in a certain context, let's say I was, I don't know, I'm done with podcasting, I'm running for Congress. Mm-hmm. Those come up. Those would come up.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah, but those are things that we're broadcasting.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. It was public in the first place.
If John Gruden was doing a podcast and that was out there, that's like what got the Jeopardy guy, the Jeopardy producer who was going to be the replacement for Alex Trebek. Everything wound up.
Mike Richards.
Yeah, beginning to fall apart for him when an old podcast, was surfaced, and so things similar to that came up. But ultimately, I think there were other stuff that kind of were the ends of his career.
Yeah.
That I even draw another line beyond private emails, private communication. Like, I'm not saying, again, once everything's out in the open, then we're all going to judge it as if you said it publicly.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We're all going to judge you like that.
Yeah.
That being said, how many of us have comported ourselves exactly in private the way that we do in public?
Well, I'm sure that number is very low.
I mean, do you?
I mean, for the most part, I am who I am. So it's almost bad for me because I maybe put too much out there. It's kind of bad for me. But I don't. I'm pretty much no different. If the people,
you don't think that you've ever said things privately that you would not say publicly.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, 100%. Like we were talking to the kids about this the other day.
But never with paper documentation.
Yeah. I have definitely said something.
Look, he didn't know it was paper documentation, right?
Right.
Like that's the thing. Is number one, you know that operation was run by jocks because nobody looked to bleach bit those servers before they turned them over to the NFL.
Yeah. Most anything I have ever said that I feel like would embarrass me is mostly dumb or I don't know. The idea that your email communications, yes, private, but are just riddled with like racial epithets or sexist language or whatever, I don't have that. And anyone would like to go search through my shit can go look if they want. I don't have any of that stuff. So my point is like, I don't know if that's the line. Maybe it is the line. Like a private email that says, boy, there's nothing I like more than putting a corn cob up my butthole. Like if that's the thing you said. That's embarrassing if it gets out. Nobody wants to hear about your butthole corn thing. But it's not the same as you going, that black guy, whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference there.
No. Again, racial statements are racial statements. I think that the larger conversation that should happen with John Gruden is how much he was among the norm in the management world of the NFL. Much of which is still in place, and the ownership class that is still in place. Yeah. It surprised me not at all that this is how those guys talk privately.
Yeah, same.
Like,
I mean,
that is something that does not surprise me. Now, is it enough to lose his job? Obviously so. We are in a different world now than we were then. But when I talk about the idea of the privacy thing, I don't mean necessarily that you said the thing, quote unquote, right? Yeah. Like that you said a thing that was objectionable, because when these kind of private things are made public, we don't have the ability to put them in any kind of context beyond the one that we've just revealed this secret thing. So any kind of unkind thing that you might have said about somebody that was going through something in their lives or anything like that, which I think we all do. I know I have. I know I have been mad in situations that were far more contextual than if you were to just lay it bare in front of the entire world, and you would be kind of left saying, well, but you got to understand at the moment that I was mad about like I'm you know, I would be I think, I don't know. I would say that I've said for a long time that all of Western society would crumble if all of the iMessages that have ever been sent just popped up on the Pirate Bay in a searchable database.
Oh, right. Yes, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. I didn't know the context that you were saying at the time, but now this makes sense. That you were basically, it was basically commentary on this John Gruden thing, and I agree. Like, we also, humanity has, feels like lately anyway, in a public way, we have zero capacity for forgiveness, and it kind of drives me nuts. I think we got to figure out a way to be better about that. But I also get why
we are more justice-minded.
We are more justice-minded. We're more like quick justice-minded and not take your time and suss it out and get the nuance and all that. And it's kind of a bummer. But part of this possible that the leadership in the NFL is more, or even just in that team, is more like, well, yeah, this is systematic and it already was, and this is just old emails, proving that one person talks like this, but is probably everywhere and whatever. But moreover, this is just bad morale right now for the team, and we are going to keep losing. We gotta pull ourselves out of this. A lot of stuff's at stake here. That's enough reason to fire a coach. I've seen him fire coaches just because they had a winning season all year and didn't get to the big show, and then, well, all right, new coach next year. Like,
well, I mean,
you know what I mean? I don't know if it can
basically punting on the season.
Yeah.
So, like, you are basically saying we don't care about winning this season. We care more about getting out from under this gigantic contract with John Gruden because it is a very long contract. If we now have an out for conduct unbecoming to the team, which is a part of most contracts, then either you can exercise that right now or you cannot, right? And it was a resignation by John Gruden, so maybe they figured out some quick money understanding for him to walk out the door. But I think this is about the fact that the NFL is in a different, all the sports societies in a far different place, where you can't just say like, boys will be boys, and how much did he mean it? Who knows? This is what happens. It's the NFL jocks. Like, this is actual locker room banter between two old jocks who are doing jock things. That society has changed, and I think that this is reflective of it. That that this isn't something where the Raiders are coming out and saying, absolutely, this has to be a line in the sand has to be drawn because what two men who are joking around in an email sans context, like, should not be held against them. But they didn't. They got him the hell out of there.
Yeah, which is the money that's at stake here is.
But that's why you get him out there now, because in the contract, if he has demonstrated conduct unbecoming of the team, which is interesting, it'd be an interesting legal question to say, like, is an email revealed 10 years after you sent it before you worked for the team conduct unbecoming of the team? But I would assume that is at play, and that's why you got to get him out of here now, or else if you don't, you would have less standing to be like, all right, he's got to go later.
This is a lot. This isn't that much different, by the way, than all this Activision Blizzard stuff. It's kind of the same thing. We're entering a new maturation phase for the games industry. We're also in a very different place societally, like you said, and we're also dealing with a systemic thing that is not just limited to Activision Blizzard. And there's a lot of nuance there too about why people like me took it harder than maybe others, because we had a really. It would be like if somebody thought John Gruden was just Jesus, in every way, and then finding this out, and it just shatters your impression of somebody. But I feel like there's just a lot of this going around right now, and it's very easy for. We also live in a time where everybody has their own freaking foghorn, and they can fire it up anytime they want, and they can pretty safely do that without anyone knowing what shitty thing they said in their email 10 years ago. And so they feel safe in being as judgmental as possible. I think two things can be true. We
just got out of another coach controversy in the NFL where the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars went viral on a Saturday night after his team played a Thursday night game, wherein he's the ex-head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. He goes back to Columbus, Ohio, goes to a bar or a restaurant that has his name on it. It's called like the Urban Meyer Chop House. He is Urban Meyer. Gets lit at the bar and is on tape or on social media with having some random lady grind on his piece while they're just getting lit together. And he got into a gigantic controversy about that might have cost him his job. Because he might have lost, the locker room. Although, unlike John Gruden, there's been no optimism with his team. His team has sucked and continues to suck then, now, forever. But we're in a different world. And I do think that for industries like Blizzard, industries like the NFL, where you have not had a whole lot of any kind of recourse for people that think maybe some of this behavior is toxic and gross. And maybe these industries have lulled themselves into a false sense of security, believing that, well, nobody's complaining, so that's why this is cool. Are learning very quickly that both for their fan base, the press, and people inside their organization, that the tyranny of the majority there is something that needs to be corrected for.
Quick Utah connection here. Hold on a sec.
Utah connection!
Urban Meyer, after 2 seasons at Bowling Green, he took the job at Utah in 2003, coached for the Utes. Let's see, who was there for the Western Mountain Conference, Coach of the Year, 10-2 record. He did really well here.
And then went to Florida, where he had a big legendary career, including bringing through Aaron Hernandez, who was, I think, at that point, murdering people.
Yeah.
Left because he wanted to focus more time on his family, which eventually meant that he went to Ohio State, and then left in a bit of a cloud of controversy there, and now has gone to Jacksonville, where, you know, just mildly possibly cheating on his wife is probably a fun distraction.
I haven't heard a phrase like grinding on his piece in a long time.
Yeah.
Right. That is a salty phrase. I like it. All right. Well, maybe some of you learned a little something today. We don't usually talk about football, certainly not in this context, but stuff going on out there. And
I mean, I think that there's a lot to kind of break it out on, and I don't want the element of retribution to a stale industry to be overtaken by the questions that I have, where I don't really even have a moral stance on whether or not the revelation of these old things are good or bad. I think that it's just like looking at the weather and having an opinion on if rain is good or bad, whether or not you believe that it is up or down. It's going to come, and I think that we are, the wolves will come for us all.
Yeah,
we will all find some element of our lives that will be revisited, small or large,
sure,
coming forward.
My epitaph on my gravestone will say, "Here lies Scott Johnson. He did ding pong." That'll be it.
That'll be it.
Yeah, that'll be the heat I get in my.
It is
afterlife.
interesting. It's like, when for celebrities, you often think like, all right, well, what's like the first line of their obituary,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And where do our sins rank among our achievements?
Sure.
In our legacy.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought now, as you pointed out, where we are not in a time of nuance. We are in a time of justice, which I think for many folks, that's long overdue.
Yeah, I agree. We just gotta, sometimes we just gotta think and dial it back a little, folks. 2 things can be true. Gruden maybe is a douchebag. I don't know. Maybe he is. Other thing could be true is we don't have all the info, and we don't have to be so, ready to kill everybody as a result. I don't know. I don't know. We just all have a voice now. What are we supposed to do? We're all on Facebook. We got to say what we want. Welcome to the future, everyone. The wisdom of crowds. The most bullshit thing I ever learned. All right. Hey, Justin, plenty going on around your world, and now you got this cool view of the city there. What's stuff people should be looking for this week?
Politics. This week, we're going to talk about something that is fascinating. Many of your listeners might have actually been affected by it, and I might be affected by it tomorrow when I try to get on a Southwest flight to go from here to Florida. But there has been a tremendous amount of Southwest cancellations and a lot of rumors around why it happened. In fact, some centering around the idea that people might have been calling out pilots and flight crew because it was a protest against the vaccine mandates.
Oh.
I actually have what I like to refer to as informed scuttlebutt. It's not real reporting. It's informed scuttlebutt, wherein I think we can take down the heat on a little bit of some of the rhetoric, but I will confirm that there is something vaccine related to why these things got canceled and might get canceled again in a mass wave in a few days. So
is your
go ahead
flight
and listen to that, and in an interview with Molly Wood about her brand new podcast, which is great, How We Survive.
Oh, yeah, I hear that's awesome. I need to check that out. Been meaning to since I heard about it on DTNS. Awesome. Well, good luck with all of that, and may your favorite NFL team be squeaky clean. Bye now. All right. Oh, shit.
The jury
will now retire.
Yeah, I got it. Totally forgot to play it. All right. Well, that was great. Little NFL talk. Man, I wish we had our own team. I always wish that. I wish Utah could just get a team. We got the Jazz. Can we have another ZZ name for a football team?
The Grizz.
We have that in hockey. We got the Grizzlies.
Yeah, you got the Grizzlies. Yeah, we
have the Bees.
The Pizzazz. The Utah Pizzazz.
Wait, not the Bees. What's the? That would be the shittiest name for a football team. The Pizzazz.
Pizzazz.
I would hate
the
it.
Jizz. The Jizz.
Yeah, the Jizz.
The lure for real. The Utah Jizz.
The Utah Jizz. Wonderful. The Utah Fuzzy Wuzzy. Yeah, that's a great idea as well. All right. That's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks to everybody for being here and supporting us at patreon.com/TMS. Those who do support us, you're awesome. And sending you new artwork today for the month. So look forward to that. And if that sounds interesting, go check it out. Read up on how you could benefit from a membership at patreon.com/TMS. Okay, I think we're done. We're not totally done until you play a song, though, so maybe you should do that, I guess.
Oh, so I could take my time and noodle around and just extend things as long as I want. All right. Albert says, Dear Scott and Brian, I'd like to request Enter Sandman by Alicia Cara and The Warning. I don't have a specific day in mind for the request, so fit in when you can. It's on the new Metallica Blacklist album in conjunction with the 30th anniversary of Metallica's Black Album. Blah, blah, blah. I've been a big fan of The Warning since you played their song 21 Century Blood for Indie in the Middle on in May 2017. TMS episode 1264. If you enjoy their version of Enter Sandman, you should check out the rest of their music. It's all on YouTube, Apple Music, and Spotify.
Nice.
I hope once you hear their music, you will say, I can definitely see why you like it.
Oh, I should play that since he brought it up.
I can definitely see why you like it.
There it is.
Cool. Thanks, Albert from Maryland, Mayor McCheese, when he's in the chat room.
Nice.
Well, Mayor, who am I to argue with this? So yeah, this amazing cover album came out last month. Metallica and a bunch of different artists got together and did new versions of each of the songs from the Black Album, Metallica's Black Album. Lots of them. Like 5 versions of Nothing Else Matters, or 18 versions of Enter Sandman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is Alicia Cara and The Warning with their cover of Enter Sandman.
Perfect. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Wednesday edition of the show. Be good until then. Bye. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Come.
Oh. The captain would like us to come.
He commends you.
Yeah. Get in there.
Good boy. Good